Hello and welcome back again to another podcast episode with Miss Indra, Shakti Awakener from the Shakti Awakener podcast.
And with Miss Ruxandra from the Love Seat podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Today we're going to talk about our very exciting mentorship, the Queen, and we also want to share some very powerful codes with all of you queens who need to receive this transmission. We are going to talk about how we got here and what was the life inspiration that showed us how to create this mentorship program.
Exactly, because everything that we are doing is inspired from our own personal journey. And I know you are feeling us because you're on the same journey as us. And we just want to provide you the best tools that you can ever receive so you can just take that one step and the leap that you need to fully get into the Queen energy.
Yeah.
Because from the Queen energy to begin with, everything else unfolds.
Yes.
Like the relationship of your dreams, the business that you desire to have, or the mission that you desire to have, and the health, the radiance, the connection with your higher self, it's all flowing from your embodiment as a queen.
Exactly.
And I think it all comes down to passing through these rites of initiation that us women go through, from princess to queen, or the maiden to mother, or all of these, let's say, archetypal energies that actually play a significant role in our lives when we mature and we desire a family and we desire sacred partnership. And without these rites of initiation, you wouldn't get to those places that you need to be into.
Exactly. This is so necessary because these are the cycles of life. And when you move in accordance with the cycles of life and the rhythm of the earth, this is when you become the queen, the high priestess. And I also want to say just a little disclaimer that we didn't figure it all out. Like, we are just sharing some very powerful codes around this embodiment because life showed us how to get here, and we didn't fully see it until recently when we discovered that all of the painful and challenging experiences we have been through initiated us into feeling as the queen, because your nervous system is speaking to you. You will feel if you're at the princess level or if you're in your queen embodiment. And I also feel like it is really important to share that in the past, when people were living in tribes and the shamans were leading the tribes, and we were in this kind of like living in these ancient times, women were naturally going through these initiations, like it was part of their daily ritual, and it was a ceremonial way of living in accordance to the earth. So women knew that around 16 to 18 years old, their girls have to be initiated and they have to go through these rites of passages and ceremonies with fire and with water and with earth, so they can be fully celebrated in the new identity that they are becoming. And we are now doing the same, but in a very modern way through this mentorship.
Yeah, through the work with Tantra and the Jinkies. And this is literally the steps to becoming a woman, because most women think that they are women just because they have a certain age.
Yes.
But it's about the embodiment and the frequency and the way you hold yourself that is really showing you if you're a woman. Because I've met women around their 50s who are still very much in their teenager energy.
Yes.
Because they haven't done this work, they are not at that level in which they are actually energetically a woman.
Exactly.
A queen.
Yeah. And it's a very subtle art to this embodiment. And I feel like we should start by actually sharing what we've been through recently and celebrate you because you just turned 24. And for her birthday, we went to the most beautiful, luxurious resort in Bali, Kempiski. And I want to say that from my own experience, 3 years ago, it was a dream of mine to get there. Like, I knew about it. I was going there. I went maybe 2 or 3 times, and I went just for the day. So when you're going for the day, you don't have to pay for anything. I mean, you're just paying for your drinks, but that was nothing, That was just something that I could afford energetically at that time. And it's not about like, oh, I couldn't make the money happen to sleep one night there. I could, because it's like not that much, like if you think about it, it's like €300 per night or something. But I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel powerful. I
Yeah.
felt so small. I felt like I'm not enough. I felt like I don't belong there with
Yeah.
all of the rich people
Yeah.
who are hanging around by the pool. But actually,
It's your own mindset that was
Yeah.
limiting it, because actually you are so, everybody is like the same. Like you're
Yeah.
not different than the multimillionaire who's sitting at the table, or you were whatever you are in your journey. But if you hold the same mindset, you're literally, you can be in the same room with these people, and it doesn't matter actually things
Yeah.
on the outer reality, but who you are within.
Yeah, so I just
Yeah.
want to add that you said mindset, which is really powerful because our mind creates our reality. Like we are just a projection of our imagination. And second of all is the embodiment
Of course.
piece, because we were working so much on our mindset, and we worked so much to get the relationship of our dreams, get the house of our dreams, move to Bali. But we worked so hard because our mind told us to do so. We struggled so much to be positive, until we arrived to this point in which we understood we just need to embody the queen, and you don't need so much of the mindset
Yeah.
work, because it's the embodiment, like how you hold yourself when you are in a room
Yeah.
with multimillionaires and
Yeah.
you work with them.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put them on a pedestal? Are you gonna think that you're less than just because you have less money?
And I think this is one of the rules. If we were to make a rule book of the queen, I think by the end of this video we will definitely have a rule book of the queen.
Yeah.
But I think one rule is that the queen reigns in silence.
Yes, silent power.
Silent power and the silence of the mind.
Yes.
Because the queen can fully, like the energy of the queen can fully attach herself in the body and fully like dawn into the body when you're silently feeling your power without all of the stories of like, what should I say? What should I do? What is this person thinking about me? Sometimes it's not even negative. It's just like chit chatter of the mind, because it's
Yeah.
distracting you from the present moment, because you're like so, you know, in the rat race of like the thinking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is also, again, coming from inadequacy. But you said it so well, because you just feel so inadequate to be there in that spot. You feel like your power is too big, so you're making yourself small. So that's why your nervous system is reacting with all of these thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's why the mind is entangled with the emotional body, and you cannot stop thinking, because your mind is showing you all of your unfulfilled desires.
Yeah.
So you start to compare, you start to be jealous, you start to judge,
Yeah.
you have an opinion, and all of these are
Princess.
shadow.
Princess behaviors.
Shadow
Yeah.
of the princess behavior,
Yeah.
definitely.
So let's go back to our story.
To the story, yeah. So I experienced all of these things, and then also one time I went with an ex-partner there just for the day to have some drinks, and now I'm going to share something
This
that
is
I
really
felt
funny.
very ashamed of, but now it's something that we can laugh about. So I was 25, he was double my age, he was like 49, and we went there, and we went for the day, and at the entrance I was first of all like just so shy to be my true self. I was like all the time constipated, so I had already one problem, because I couldn't feel fully safe to be relaxed in his presence, because I couldn't feel fully vulnerable. I couldn't share what is on my heart, my painful difficulties that I was going through at the time. So my body was already constipated, like holding on
it
to
in.
dear life.
Yeah.
And then second of all, I just got a new pair of sandals recently, and I took them on this trip with me, and when we arrive at the entrance we need to park the motorbike, and then when I get down from the motorbike, one of my sandals is breaking. And because I was so full of shame and I was so shy, I pretended that it didn't break, and I went. Guys, this is a big resort. We walked through
huge.
the whole resort, 4 kilometers probably, because I counted the steps after 4 kilometers, and I was pretending that my shoe is okay, but actually I was like,
She was wobbling through the
I was
whole
wobbling
fucking resort.
because I couldn't feel fully safe to tell him that my shoe is broken, and he was like showing to his family, taking pictures and videos, and me like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm constipated and my shoe is broken. It's fine, guys. And I almost have no money in my bank account, so we go there to have food and drinks. And usually he would pay, but I felt like that was kind of like his energy was like, you should pay for yourself now.
Which anyway, we don't even want that type of man. Like a man should pay no matter what, if he consumes or not. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a king energy.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel confident to be like that. I had no concept of being like that, you know. So he didn't know that my business is not going well. Like I had months in which it was going really well at that time and months in which I had nothing. And it was something at the time that I had nothing. It was a period of time. And I don't think I even had like €6 in my bank account, because this is how much you need to pay for a coconut there, a very luxurious coconut.
It just tastes the same as the $1 coconut.
Anyway, you're in a resort, you're with the rich people. So we go there and we both agreed on ordering something. And I start to order, I get a coconut, and he's like, oh no, I don't want anything. And I was like, he doesn't get anything, he doesn't buy it, and I have not enough money to pay for my coconut. So I, all the time it was like just like in constant tension, like I couldn't fully relax. I was thinking, how can I make it happen? How can I make €6 happen right now? Looking at my Revolut without him knowing, looking at all my bank accounts.
I can just imagine him be like, babe, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. I'm so fine.
Can you imagine the stress?
The zero relaxation in the nervous system that you're providing.
Let me get to the final point. And then when it's time to pay, I get up and I go to the toilet. And I pretend I need to go to the toilet. And he knows that. I mean, we're both knowing each other. And then I come back and I'm like, did you pay, And he's like, yeah, whatever. He's like so annoyed that he has to pay. Like it was just like a very annoying moment for him. And he understood that I don't want to pay for it. But he didn't know that I have no money. I didn't have that. So that was it. And now fast forward, I treated my sister to this. And we went there, and how did it feel in our nervous system? It felt normal.
Yeah.
It felt quite boring and ordinary.
I also went another time a few months earlier, so a couple of months ago. I went on a date, I was taken there, and for me it was quite a bigger thing to be taken on such a beautiful resort. On a date, because usually, date is like dinner and whatever, and it's nice, but that was really, really nice. And for me that was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and like the place is really nice, and I was more amazed then. But then when we came back here, I was like, oh, I mean, it's beautiful and the energy is beautiful, but it doesn't feel so like, oh my god, it doesn't feel like so crazy, like you're like dropping your panties off wetness because you're in a resort. It's just like another place.
And this is the result of regulating your nervous system and getting into the queen embodiment, because places from the outside or experiences don't seem out of reach. They're just an extension of you. It's like, of course I created this.
We coded this as our baseline.
Yeah.
We are no longer like thinking that this is something outside of ourselves, that we will attain something in the future, or like that we don't deserve this necessarily, because you're only feeling like, oh my god, when you're going to these luxurious places, when you low-key feel like you don't deserve it.
Exactly.
I mean, you can still be in amazement and being like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, but you can also have that part of you that is like, yeah, but of course I'm here. Why wouldn't I be here? And definitely a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have felt worthy of this, even if inside of myself I knew I wanted this. And it took that stages of growing from the princess to the queen that feels worthy, to actually be in those high value places and meet those high value men and be taken to these luxurious dates and not even flinch about it, and because she knows that this is her reality, this is the new normal. But it's like, people need to understand that you need to do the nervous system work, and like you need to code this inside of yourself, because if you come from a background of more scarcity or more lack, even if you were, let's say, in an abundant family, but the mindset was scarcity, or if you were actually in a more scarce place and you weren't used to these more luxurious things, then you would feel unworthy just because your inner child is not used to those experiences. And so this is one of the things that we are doing in the Queen Mentorship. We are constantly helping women upgrade and up-level in their feeling of worthiness.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're growing up, especially as a woman, you have this image and idea of like, oh, I want to become this woman when I'm gonna grow up. This is the woman of my dreams archetype that I want to be. And you put it so high up there, so far on a pedestal, and you keep on growing up, and you think that you're in a process to get there, but you can choose right now to become it. But it has to feel safe for your nervous system, because she, on a higher frequency, doesn't feel safe for your current state of consciousness. And that's why someone from a higher state of consciousness, us, who already experienced that kind of embodiment, can give you the codes, and we can take you there, because it's going to be like a shortcut, a pathway into your woman of your dreams, and she's not in the future, but it's here in the now. She's
Yeah.
here in the now, and we bring that in your nervous system. We don't do that many things. We just show you the pathway, you know, because on your own you wouldn't know how it feels like. And I want to say that we also learned this from other mentors and teachers, and we invested a lot of money in this kind of growth. And we not only pass our information and wisdom on to you, but we also comprise everything that we
Yeah.
learn from these very powerful, renowned leaders and healers,
Yeah.
and we give it to you. Like, there's a lot of wisdom and value that
Yeah.
you receive, and it's very fast paced. It's like, it's fast but peaceful and in harmony with your nervous system.
Yeah, exactly. It's like exactly like you said, leading through your body, because we can tune into your energy field and we can tune into your body and know exactly where you are still limiting yourself, where the blocks are still alive in your field. And even if you have created a huge level of abundance and you say that you have the life of your dreams, and perhaps you do, there's still little ways in which you make yourself smaller, in which you don't trust yourself, or which you sabotage your relationship. Because let's talk about the queen in love, you know, how the queen is in love. Because I feel like many high value women who have created a high level of abundance and they build their legacy and their mission still find ways to sabotage their relationship and undermine their partner's leadership.
Yes.
Read that again, or like hear
Listen
that
to
again,
this.
listen to this again, because I feel like you're so good at being a leader in your boardroom, in your business, in your mission, that when you come home and it's time for like intimate time or sexy time, or you just want to be like super loved and tenderly, you know, be held by your partner, you find ways to undermine his provision. You find ways to make him feel smaller, because low-key you don't trust yourself to actually receive that from him, because you think you need to work for yourself. You need to work for it by yourself, just like you did in your business. You need to do everything by yourself. You don't feel fully safe to be seen by him, or you just created this image around who he is. But if you would drop into who you are right now, and if you would go into this relationship with no stories whatsoever, and if you would actually take the time to create a new relationship with the masculine and with him, like what we are doing in the Queen Mentorship and what we are helping you rewire, you would find a new seed of love. Like, you would really see him in such a high way, and he will be able to provide everything that you want, and he will be able to really come to you with a new energy, with a new love, and you will see the whole relationship being transformed. And maybe he will also naturally rise into the man that you want him to be, because you're changing your frequency and your stories inside.
Exactly. That is what is happening to one of my clients. I felt that since we started working together, that she's more of like a leader in the relationship, and she enjoyed that. But then when we were like in our second and the third month, I was like, girl, you know, I see this about your relationship. Then she started changing her perspective, and now recently she became much more embodied in her queen energy. She became much more feminine, and also her boyfriend started to rise and to plan all of these things and to tell her, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of the money. And yeah, it's just beautiful to see how women gain this new level of awareness, and how they see their role in the relationship, and they let the men do their work, what they need to be doing, like to lead.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like the roles between the business and the relationship and the feminine and the masculine need to be clearly separated. Like, you cannot take your energy from the business into the relationship and expect your man to ravish you and devour you, or just step up and provide for you, because your energy will just not let him. You are doing this to yourself and to the relationship. So let's talk about the Queen Mentorship and how we are actually helping these high level leaders shift into their feminine and embody their queen energy. And let's talk about the work, your work with the Jinkies and my work with Tantra, so people can understand better.
Yeah. So in our work with the Jinkies, I'm going to analyze your love profile, the Venus sequence, and there we're going to look at all of the shadows that are blocking you from fully embodying the most high expression of love. So we look at your inner child, we look at the way that you process emotions, We look at all of the ways in which you were programmed by the society and your family from 0 until 21. So we rewire all of those old, if I can say so, toxic ways of loving, and we understand what's your flavor of loving, what's your blueprint, because out of all of the shadows and ways you don't want to perform anymore, you're going to receive your gift. I'm going to take you so deep into your body through guided transmissions and meditations and somatic practices, and you're going to understand how all of these parts of you that were lost and confused are going to be brought into wholeness. We are going to integrate them. So when you integrate them, you are no longer playing these behaviors that you see, but you don't know how to change. And we are also doing something that I feel like it's really powerful. I mean, we are literally mutating your DNA so you can exist at a higher level of consciousness. So at this higher level, your thinking mind will stop. You will be more present. And this is what it means to alter your DNA, to genetically modify your DNA. We are taking it at higher levels in which you function in the best possible way, like in your most optimal way of existing.
Exactly.
And at this higher level, your digestion is better. It's like so much more improved. You feel in love. You walk on the street with your heart open. Your businesses feel like an extension of you, and everything feels like it's just a projection of you. So you don't live in separation anymore, but you feel like you're just in flow, and everything is flowing so easily. And most of the times, you will also feel like you're just pure consciousness and awareness, and there will be no more separation of time and space. And I need to get there, and I need to do this. All of these stories will simply fade away, and you will simply live in the peace of your body. Like we're bringing your genes and the systems of the body into peace and harmony. And I'm sure that many of you tapped already in this space of peace and harmony. And it's not going to be only that kind of peace that you're going on a vacation and you're in a spa and you're reconnecting with yourself, but it's a peace that will always stay with you. You will never go back to your old self.
Yeah, I love this, and I'm so grateful because you definitely initiated me into this, and we are the living testament of this, of everything that we are working on and we are working with. And in my case with Tantra, I feel like Tantra is such a yummy, juicy energy that women love, because you're tapping into this energy when you're feeling yourself, when you're dancing in the kitchen, or when you're self-pleasuring, and sometimes in those like intimate times. But then you forget about it. You just leave the energy there in that space, and then you go around in the world, and then you're overthinking and in your mind, and you're second guessing, and you're doing this and this and this, and you're not feeling your body, you're not feeling your sexual energy, your sensuality, your life force. You're actually not feeling yourself as a woman throughout the day, just only in those little pockets of time of 5 to 10 minutes, which is not the way to actually obviously live life if you want to function at your best capacity as a woman. And so with Tantra, what we are doing is that we are bringing that energy of like yumminess, loving, pleasure, innocence, eroticism. We are bringing it into the body so you can feel like that every single moment of the day. So you can instantly, if you want, just drop in when you're like in a moment with yourself and feel that without having to force yourself or work for it. It will become a natural embodiment of who you really are. It will become just an effect of who you really are. And then you get to radiate that when you're going out. Like your magnetism will be increased. People will start to see you differently, will start to look at you differently and act differently with you in a higher, more loving, more generous way. And things will just rearrange in your aura so you can receive more opportunities faster, like from one day to another, from one night to another. It will just be more mystical, more magical, more also mysterious, because we are working with your Shakti. So we are working with the divine feminine essence of like the fire of your sexuality, and that will just make you feel more like meow and magnetic and in your power. And when you're asking for something from your partner, you will not ask from smallness, or you will not feel like you are less than, or you will actually just simply state what you desire and lead with your feminine, because the feminine is inviting the masculine to provide and to protect and to be there for her. And you don't need to go into any tactics of manipulation. It's literally you being that woman that already has it, and then your partner will naturally, or man will naturally want to abide to that. But this is the work that you needs to be fully integrated inside of your body, inside of your womb. We're working a lot with the womb as well, and you will be able to see these results like instantly, but also over the course of like weeks and months. You will fully see how you're just shifting from month to month, and you're becoming more and more powerful, more and more radiant, more and more sensual. And I think by the end of the mentorship, I mean, most women that I work with, if not all of them, you're like, oh my God, this was the best experience ever. And I want to do it again. And I don't know how I lived my life without this.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the structure?
I'm coming with the structure, with the masculine structure. 30 sessions in total. And this means that in each month, there are 6 months in total. In each month, you have 2 sessions with me, 2 sessions with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in these healing sessions, we have 2 sessions that are healing sessions or activating sessions or ceremonies that in which we're going into the body and we're guiding you into these powerful places to meet the shadows, transform them, or just activate more of your sensuality, sexuality, all of that through somatic practices, embodiment, meditation, energy healing, and all of that. And then we have also additionally one call at the end of the month in which we are all 3 of us, uniting our powers.
And then at the end of the 6 months, we have a collective ceremony with all of the women who enter the group.
Exactly.
And you also receive extra 4 Jinkies styling sessions, because we truly believe that you have to also change your wardrobe according to your identity. So the Jinkies will reflect what's your most pure, high, radiant essence, and I'm going to help you dress according to that.
That's really, really powerful. Like that was the game changer for me, to just know my style so well that when I'm going out into the world, I feel so powerful. Nobody can tell me shit.
Yeah, because you're dressed like your millionaire self.
Exactly.
So your clothes become the permission slip for you to sing, embody, breathe, walk in that way.
Yeah, and this will attract everything, like all the clients, all the men, all the opportunities. And you also receive 2 couples Tantra sessions, which are going to take both you and your man into very deep states of connection and pleasure and vulnerability and intimacy. And also additionally to this, my sister has a very powerful library of Jinkies activations and transmissions, and you will be able to have access to all of them. They're like 10 already almost, or
No, they're like plus 20. There are so many girls, don't worry, and I'm constantly upgrading them. They're the most powerful advanced practices. And they are healing session in themselves. So
and I also have some guided transmissions and embodiment practices that you will be able to access to just take your embodiment to the next level.
Yeah, plus you will be in our energy and you get to receive all the transformation and the codes we are constantly working with, because as we said, we are also working with someone who is higher than us in a way, and we are constantly sharing this kind of wisdom and information, so we all grow together.
And it will just feel like you are part of our family, like you're the third sister.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if this sounds like you, we invite you to DM us the word queen, and we are going to schedule a call with you to see if you are the perfect fit for this mentorship. And if you want to read all the details, we put everything together in a beautiful presentation, and you will see it linked down below. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
And I will see you in the next one.
Yeah.